G'day everyone, welcome along. Welcome to Steel Horse Station. Hope you're having a good one. We are heading to Vintage Oaks, so let's jump right to it. Just had George's van up here at the shop and just bought a pallet of silage liquid. What do you call it? Oh goodness, mental block. Silage additive. That's what I'm looking for, this stuff. The big one. So we already had some. Ringo had some at his place, but George doesn't have any down the bottom of the map, and seeing as we put in the silage pit that we were filling last time, or the clamp, I thought that would be a good idea. Welcome along if there's anyone hiding there in the background. According to YouTube, there is nobody with us yet, but that's fine. We have plenty to do. Just finishing off a couple of things, a couple of the contracts, the last of the sowing, which is field 57, and I also grabbed a lucrative fertilizing contract, which is underway, so that we'll have enough cash to jump forward into May without creating a problem with the bank. We need to go into May in order to be able to get to work on our own, getting our own crops in the ground. We have got a few bits and pieces underway. Now let's head up the hill here. Let's see. So let's just jump over here. Right, so we're ready to plant here by the looks, and I've been having a bit of a think about the plan. The plan is to put corn in here, because if we think about our fields, we're going to have a third field for George at the bottom. So if we put all the sugar beet in the bottom three fields, that will be plenty for the farm at the moment. Welcome along if you've just joined. And so we've got wheat in 146. We put some sunflowers in 174. We're going to put some more potentially in 175, and then put corn in 147 and 144 is the plan, and possibly across our meadows here. So we'll just see how that plays out. But for now, we should be able to pop some corn in here, I think. So open the course generator for headland, start on the headland. That will do. Actually start in the center. Generate the course. And corn, and away we go to the first waypoint. We should have enough fuel to get started. Are you gonna behave? Yep, all good. So that'll be corn. You can struggle up the hill there for a minute. Looking a little bit slippy, but not too bad. We won't bother putting the second one on this, because really all we're trying to do is finish the contract. So 57 over here. Is all done. So we'll just run down to the bottom. Even though the contract's finished. This is an adjoining field, so it just feels like the right thing to do is to finish popping the seed in. Away we go. As I say, this was the only contract I wanted to finish to complete that little activity. The fertilising that we're doing can proceed into May while we get stuck into our own fields. And if you recall, you were with us last time. The reason we're waiting for May is the last of our grass cover crops. We want it to get to the next growth stage so we can maximise the yield in the silage and hay that we're making. So that's the plan. But this one will be finished when we get to the bottom here. And we can go ahead and receive that contract, which will just give us a little bit more cash and reduce the amount we drop into the negative when we roll the month. There we go. G'day, John. How are you, sir? Welcome in. Great to see you. Hope it's been a pleasant weekend for you. Come on. I just want to finish the last little bit. Let's take you on 6 seconds to go. That'll do it. So we can collect that. Turn that off. Hold you up. And head back to our place. Actually, on the way past, I can show you the other little addition that put in between episodes, which will go some way to explaining the cash position. So you'll remember from last time that we put the clamp in down at the bottom of the map to service George's field, and I mentioned, I think, that I wanted to put one at John's farm. I was toying with, do we put it over near the slurry tanks in the pig area or not. I ended up going for the or not. We'll just loop around this way, take a slightly long way back, and we'll drive past it. Whoops. If I try and keep this out of the creek, it'd be a good idea. I think someone's moseyed on in with you there, John, so you're not on your pat alone. Yeah, so the change is just here on the right. You'll notice behind the hedge and the trees. So John now has a clamp just tucked in there, which will make it an easy run for our our meadows, and also I just felt that it moved it a bit further away from houses and things, which was always going to be a good thing. Rightio, so the spraying contract will need some attention. Because I'm sure he's going to run out of fertilizer. I want some more fuel. Hey Mark, how are you, sir? That's excellent. Right, oh, so let's have a look. So in terms of working activities at the moment, so I've got a cultivator getting ready so we can plant 61, which is where we'll put the sugar beet. 50 is now ready to have sugar beet put in, so that's in fact where we could send this tractor down, so we might do that. That's where we're spraying, so we've got a big fertilizing contract running over there. Oh, and I've got a truck. I just did a couple of other fiddly little things that were nagging at me that will help in the longer run. So we might, let's get this guy loaded up with corn actually. Fill you up there. Close you're going to be. Right, so we want to send you, actually we'll do some maintenance before we roll up the day over. So where are we trying to, we're trying to go to, not to Ringo's, try that again. Here comes the sun. George's yard, that's the one. So while he's tootling down there, everything's all good here. Do anything with that lot. We will need more seed. We'll worry about that when we get to it. Right, let's head across to the shop and I can load up what I was doing there. Now, so what I've done is these are really useful. I like them a lot, but they were annoying me because they keep unloading from each other. And so when you've got a truck with three of them and three fit nicely on this truck, you end up and they swap product or they don't put the product you want in. So what I've done, you can see from the name there, so that's butter, that's sugar, that's chocolate. I've tried to color code them sensibly. That's cheese and that's pig food. So now the plan should be straightforward to get them sorted, and because I've changed the filter or specified the fill type for each of them, they should only load what I want them to load, which should just save a little bit of fiddling around and then allow the truck to move loads around the way I was hoping. That's the plan anyway. So we want to take, because the primary purpose was to take butter. Oop. Anybody get up to anything interesting for the weekend? In the interests of keeping you up to date with all of the weather happenings here in Oz. It's been very windy in Melbourne. So we went from early spring back into winter, and just basically had half a cyclone last night. Winds across the bays peaked at 140 kilometres an hour, so that's, in my book, that's fairly windy. The other thing that I'll be interested to see is that I have noticed that for some reason these leak products between saves for reasons that I don't understand. So that one we filled up with chocolate the other day, or we didn't fill it, we got 6,000 to 7,000 litres. When I logged in, had 2,000, and then when I logged in a day later, it was down to 850. So blood if I can figure out why it was leaking product, but nonetheless it was. So we'll see if the same thing happens when they've got a set fill type. Yeah. With any luck, that should do the trick. Don't need to worry about the others. We'll come back and get them later. Well, that was the bit that I couldn't figure out, John. So we'll see if the problem persists. It's not the only sneaky little issue that I've got at the minute. So let's send you to load cheese, butter and chocolate. So you might remember from the stream last week, I was having an odd problem in the store. Oh, has it gone away? It has gone away. See, that's really weird. That is really weird, though, because I was having it earlier. And I haven't taken anything out, so I can't for the life of me figure out what is upsetting that. Never mind. Let us check on so you're doing fine putting the corn in. What did stock check report? He says it now reads what I would expect it to read. I didn't think to check it at the time when it went missing from the bags. The reason I adjusted back to the level that I needed using a magic keystroke, F12. Everything else on here looks pretty normal. Yep, pretty much what I would expect everything to be. Although, interestingly, I've put a drum of silage additive in the back of George's van, and it's disappeared for the minute. Well, it'll be interesting to see if it reappears when I take it out at the other end. It might be to do with how that Rumbler van works. Needs to be refilled. What? Ah, that's what I was expecting. And you're going to want the last waypoint. Where are we on the fields? We want to go that way. Actually, where have I got the herbicide? That could, not the herbicide, the liquid fert. Liquid fert might be over at Ringo's place. I can't remember if I brought it across or not. We'll just have a look. If it's in the yard here, it'll be just around the corner. It is not. Okay. Well, let's get some fuel while we're passing. That'll do. Let's send you to Ringo's to fill up with that. Now, that'll probably mean I think our animals are in good shape. Cows will have some milk to do when we roll a month. Food is fine. Slurry's getting pretty full. We need to put some more hay out, although they're not eating it super fast. And the distribution from the pig food factory is working like a treat now that I've got the distribution mod on, so can thoroughly recommend that one so far. So all our pigs are coming along nicely, and we're going to get some more next month. That's a very good point. I may not. I thought I had a drum of it. thought I had more than that. So what we will do is buy 2 of those. Well spotted, John. We can get that working for us. Oh, we arrived just in time to fix the rollover. Let's move you out the way. Open the door there. Oh, that's because it moves around in the... Good to know. Probably should have lashed it down. The idea here is to keep him over there where we can fill up if necessary. Let's see if magically that extra has reappeared. Liquid has silage additive. No. Or is that? I thought that was 5,000 litres. Ah, it's only 1,000 litres. Sorry. It was there all along. I just had the tank size wrong. My bad. Okay, let's run you into the workshop. About as... I know you'll get right in. See how horrid this is. Last service was at 0. Next service advised now. 47 quid. Oh, that's on the... 47 quid to service or wait. Okay, if you insist. Maestro is fine. We'll let him go. Fent needs the service. Huh. Okay, cool. And we won't worry about that one. Oh, does he actually? No, no repairs to be done. Good. Let's go and get some sugar beet happening. Have you caught up on the F1 situation, John? Yeah, we were... It certainly hasn't affected us. It's just it was really windy. There's lots of people that have been affected and some particularly unlucky folks, which in itself has been unusual. So, what am I trying to do? Let's try doing that. 3 headlands will do. You start in the center, sharp corners. Generate the course wedge. Yep, that'll work. First waypoint. And commence. We don't want corn. Stop. Sugar beet. In that case, I will not mention a word. But yes, our so we've had a couple of very unfortunate fatalities in completely different situations. So people in their 60s minding their own business on holiday down from somewhere further north, driving in the hills on the outskirts of Melbourne. Car hit by a tree, literally blew over and landed on them. So that really killed him and put her in the hospital. And then last night, up on the border between Victoria and New South Wales, a lady and her husband were staying in one of the resort caravan parks that are popular in the part of the world they were in. And similarly, tree blew over in the storm and crushed the cabin they were in, killing her and putting him in the hospital, as I recall. I think I've got that the right way around. So just absolutely shocking. Which side of this do I want to pick up? Auto load is this side. Doesn't matter. I do pay attention sometimes, John. Oh, stop. Okay, we'll take the end one then. I probably could do these without the forks, but... well, not probably. I know I can do them without the forks. Let's just pop you around there. With it raining, this looks like a good time to not worry about the fertilizing until we've rolled the day forward, I think. You know, that helps if I twist it in the correct direction. Oh, absolutely, that grips it properly without the... it just feels like I then can't manipulate pallets if I drop the forks off. That's the only thing. So oops. And don't need to get too fussy about it. Park you out of the way. Let's move the truck. Let's send you back to the shop, actually. You gonna get out of there without crashing? Possibly. Better turning circle than I think. Often. Now, let's see. Can see where I stacked the chocolate neatly when I solved my other problem. Oh, come on. There we go. No. Now I can't get it off. Okay. Interesting. Why is... Okay. Done something wrong. It may be a problem for another day. I thought I looked at the logs, so I don't think I had any errors. Okay. We won't worry about that for now. You're just about finished there, so that's good. You're good. You're here to drive around sugar that I've left sitting in the middle of the driveway. And see, I'm very organized today. Got crap everywhere. At least we have plenty of pig food. That's always good. Just got to stop the corn hitting the roof. Move the other auto load pellets away, you reckon? Could be the reason. Definitely. Although, because they've got different fill types, it shouldn't be now. So, you never know. It's always worth a try. Well, this one's actually pointing in a different direction completely. No, not talking to him. It'll be something I've done wrong. Let's just have a quick look. There's no evidence there. Feels invalid. Well, that would be the reason. Butter, sugar. Didn't notice that before. Okay, well that explains it. Why are my fill types not working? Okay. I thought fill type category. That's right. Yes, when I edited the... I wasn't reading, I was doing it quickly and not paying enough attention. So when I've edited the XML, I've changed what I wanted, but didn't notice that it was a list, it was a bulk fill type categories entry, not a fill type. Thank you very much, Mark. That's why I'm not a programmer. Let's turn you off. You're going fine. Yeah, let's go back to the shop. No. So we should have a truck here by the time we... Yeah, there is. At least now I know. It would have stumped me for a good day or two while I reread my XML 14 times and couldn't figure out what I'd done wrong. Just your eye scanning over the same error. So thank you very much, Mark. That is eminently helpful. Let's go and roll forward. One more. Yeah, let's just get into May and be done with it. Because then we can know we can do our grass for sure. More rain? No, that wouldn't be friendly. Right, that's very unfriendly. So we will need to do a couple of jobs. Great demand at the old mill grain. What have we got here? Time is at the right level. Let's put the milk in. Plenty of manure building up over there. We're going to need to use that this year. Looks like the grass has grown all over the place, which is what we wanted. And because we're in the negatory, we're going to need to do our own work for a minute until we can get back into the positives. We do have things to sell that should get us a little bit sorted out. We can put... What's that? Liquid fert. Let's fill him up. That's why I thought I had more, because I had 2 partial containers. We're not moving. It's better. You're not going to go anywhere either with no money, so we'll drive you back first. Come back and get the milk truck. And then we can go cut some grass. That all our fields should be looking lush and hay-filled. I could have gone to the shop. I'll just load it on the delivery truck and get the delivery truck to deliver it to the field. It will work as well. Because until we get some cash in, he can't go anywhere anyway. Is this where I need to go left? I always get confused. These lanes turn me around something fierce. Where are we? Yes, is the answer to that question. Good. Oh, welcome along if you've just joined us. Great to have you in. We have just jumped forward into May, and as usual, the bank has extracted its pound of flesh. Seeing as I spent the free cash that we generated doing a couple of other things. That's all right. It was a problem I knew I was going to have. What we really should do is probably sell a couple of these pieces of excess equipment that we've got knocking around the place. Yep. Oh, I've turned the wrong way. No, I've turned the wrong way. Zip across here. I was wondering why half our field is growing. Well, that's because I rolled the month. So he did. It is definitely that. I don't mind when you get so immersed in a map and you get lost. It's a good thing. And eventually, it's like anything else, you do find your way around. Remember to look for landmarks. Now, what I will be curious about, because I noticed that my sewing machine was still working. Will it let me? Yeah, it will. Okay. Because they're set to 0. I suspect. Let's visit up here. I want to get. I don't want you anyway for the minute. I want the store truck to do the delivery. Let's see. Yes. Although I do find it helps if I've been into the map in GE. It kind of, I don't know what it is. It's sort of, I get a little more of a spatial imprint that sort of tells me whether, or gives me a clue when I'm heading in the wrong direction. What do I want? I want Bill. Do I not have 176 marked? I do not. Where can I get to that's nearby? That'll do. 146S. Good. Oh, we're here. Might as well put those other three on the on our truck and send them to the bottom of the map, which is where they'll ultimately be required. At least I stand a chance of remembering what they're for now when I get that XML definition fixed. Ah, yes, run out. Good catch. So you can go back to same spot. Cedar there. Let's go. Get you some more seed. And some fuel. The other one that's probably finished is the cultivator down the bottom. But we need to cut some grass in order to get him working. We've got quite a lot of grass fields, but that shouldn't take us long with the crone. Load you off that back of the truck. Looks like I can. Too far away. And one more. Good eye. Just enough turning circle to get the Fiat round. Now I think, if I'm not mistaken, I should be able to send you back from here. I can. That's good. Oop, no, we don't want you doing that. Don't. Oops. Now that's... Which key was that? That one. And slipped off the wheel. Trying to rescue it in a hurry. I don't want to ride along because you're going to do something I won't like. I'll take you round to our other man. Looks like we've got the road network coming along because we're getting stuff moved around and we're getting through a few jobs, which is good. What did people think of the fact sheets that were released last week? Anything of interest to anyone? As did I, John. I was much the same, Mark. I think the thing that I thought was interesting was the... Oops, I don't want to do that. You need to go to there. Was the 2 additional fill types that hadn't been announced, if you like. So they certainly look to be crop types. So we'll have to wait and see what all of that means, of course, but that's promising. But apart from that, I don't generally get all that excited about fact sheets because they don't tend to reveal much that I'm particularly excited about. That said, I still have a look, just in case. Prepared to be excited. Hey, Jason. Never look at the fact sheets. Machinery is machinery. There you go. I'm certainly never going to be able to quote you model numbers and capacities and things. Right. So we should be able to go and do that. Let him go on with his business. You're still going at the bottom. Let's enter this vehicle. And unfold you. And Argsy has just popped in time to hear that we all love watching his stuff. Good to see you, sir. Exactly. So we'll get this grass mowed. We've got to do quite a tour with the crone because quite a few fields that we need to get this cover crop off. Main thing I want to do is get this one done so we can get the cultivator down here running around. Well, I'm quite intrigued. So Mark mentioned it last week, but Bow Brown is doing a series on Blender and buildings, and for the absolute novice like me, it is very interesting. So I find, whilst he doesn't always explain everything, he explains enough to get me going. And well, you already start with sort of the architect's toolkit under your belt, whereas my blender skills are zero. I like the concept of being able to draw or create a model of something that there's no way I could do in real life. I just do not have the fine motor skills, but I'm quite enjoying watching those, and they give me some confidence that there's enough in there that I might be able to turn couple of photos that I've got of old Aussie style farm buildings into something useful. Yes, well that perspective plotter, I mean, even if it is a paid tool, I can see that being worth its weight in gold for someone that knows when it looks right but couldn't make it look right in a fit on their own. I'm assuming it's not ridiculously expensive, Mark. Is that a reasonable assumption? And is it a standalone purchase, or is it one of these? Oh, 10 quid. Okay, so that's cool. But not a subscription model. God, do I hate subscriptions. Well, no, let me put that another way. The subscription model is fine for stuff that it makes sense to have a subscription for, but subscriptions for things where they're just trying to do you out of your dough. So my biggest example is, you know, having bought various suites of Office over the years, when Microsoft switched to a subscription model, I got quite agitated, and as a result I'm still using the Office 2007 version that I bought and paid for, having long ago decided that I just didn't need any more spreadsheet features that I couldn't use. And I kind of see, I'll be quite interested to see where they're going with the new game, but I certainly see Giant's model of license fee for the game and a season's pass is a bit like a subscription, but given that it delivers things, new things regularly, and the amount that I play the game, then I think it's of some value. So that would be an example of a subscription where it's okay. Amazon, when I bought my Kindle last year, I took the Kindle Unlimited app thinking incorrectly that that would give me access as advertised to all the books in the Kindle library. Ah, is that a big mistake? It's obviously such a woeful deal for authors that many of the good books that you want to read just simply aren't available. So when is a subscription for everything not actually for everything? Exactly, Mark. Mini rant complete. So it looks like we're going to get a reasonable yield of grass off here. Oh, Mark's out for lunch. Whoop. A bit drunk on the corner. Now, Jason, up your way. Have you had the wind or have you had the hot weather or both? Wasn't sure how far this wind band extended. I know my daughter in Brizzy is not particularly impressed with the 40-degree winter temperatures that they had last week. Just a little warmer than she wants. And I read a really interesting article that was sort of covering some, we were getting 100-kilometre gusts here in Melbourne, which is really high for us, and that's significant. With 140 out on the bay, that's certainly enough to do some serious damage. As I described it to someone, it's about half a cyclone. But, this article I was reading today was about some research that's being done, and one of the Australian universities on heat stress and fatal temperatures and things, and it apparently, and haven't done anything to check the fact base of the article, but certainly the way it was a creditable news service, and the way it was put together sounded at least halfway reasonable. But apparently the conventionally held medical view is that 35 degrees C and 100% humidity is about the cutoff point for what people can tolerate. Once you get over that, you kind of move into the zone where folks are going to start to expire, because the body can't keep the core temperature down. But what they're finding that is interesting from the research is that as you increase the temperature, even if you drop the humidity, the body's response struggles more than they expected. And so the test they were running suggested that at 54 degrees and 26% humidity, that even a heat acclimatized person would get into the danger overheating zone within 3 hours. And that, you know, in lots of parts of the world, people are trying to get by in those sort of temperatures. Now, I can't say I've had any experience north of 50. I've had pretty high humidity and high 40s. I've had almost no humidity and high 40s. We've had a 47 here in Melbourne. That was pretty unpleasant. Right. And 45s in India, and mids humidities, you're not wanting to do much at all. You're certainly looking forward to lots of fluids and the air conditioning. I just found that all quite interesting. I immediately thought of my English relatives who would threaten all sorts of uproar if you suggested that they had to exist in 40 degrees with any humidity at all. Right, what are we going to do here? We are going to go and check that you have finished, which you have. Let's just check the corners. Yes. No, you missed a couple of bits. How did I do that? Oh, the weeds regrew. That's all that is, because we'll sort that out when we plant. Let's just get these couple of bits 20 and wet will do you. Nah, 20 is kind of my comfortable minimum these days. I know, well, I know basically once it gets to 18, I get cold. So my preferred operating range is more in the 22 or 3 through to 35, I must say. It's like anything, Jason. Depends where you are. That's where Oz is big enough to generate pretty much any weather condition if you look hard enough. Okay, that one's done. Somebody's out of fuel, or just about. I'm liking this big fence. We need to get a decent, when we get on top of the finances, oops, I need to do the other corner, didn't I? A decent piece of trailed gear for it, but yeah, there you go. As long as I can keep warm at night, I don't mind. Well, I mean, I love the high country, so it's just I don't like being cold. And this migraine and blood pressure medication works really well, but screws up my thermostat royally. Okay, so that's that job done there. So we're ready to seed that one. An English summer. So that was the one we put in last week. You're finished there, and we're going to need to weed you. Goodness, so much work to do with all these fields. Oops, I wanted to turn left there. Now, can't do this guy until we've got the grass picked up off it. He's going fine. Youch. How on earth do you balance the medications having that much? Now, everything we needed looks like it got planted there. Good. So, you've got fuel, you've got sugar beet, so you can come down here. And get sugar beeting. So let's kill that. First waypoint. Let that generate you. So you'll go around and do that. Now, that'll be the guy that's out of fuel. Yep. I hear you, John. Right. I feel like all I've done today is fill equipment up with fuel. Now, it's full. As well, put a whisker more seed in. And then we know we'll have enough to finish the fields. Whoop. Turning circles, not quite what I wanted. Yes. We probably shouldn't get started on that rabbit hole, John. I know I have great difficulty with, oh, there's the symptom, here's a new drug for that. And then when you have side effects, oh, well, you'll need another drug for that. It's like, well, hang on a minute. How about you actually diagnose what the problem is and let's work on solving the problem. Okay, you're going to need some maintenance at some point, but that's okay. Now, so you're sewing nicely, so we can come back over here. It's allowed. I'm not going to start censoring the chat, Jason. Right. Let's pick you up. On one level, I get it, but I also think that there's too many vested interests in these big pharma companies and that they can't be trusted to have actually tested everything that is assumed. Yeah, wombat hole. Yes, I agree. Definitely. Oh, I missed a little triangle. We'll get him shortly. The yield is much better with this grass now that it's fully grown. Oh, I've got to put some more silage additive in the tank too. I'm fine with the scientific testing methods. I don't have a problem with that. I'm also, I actually think if, as a general rule, doctors used more of the technology rather than less, we'd be better off, right? You know, the idea that you know, the doctor has read all the research on a particular subject, and potentially all the interactions is just, you know, prone to error. Some people can have, and if it's a very narrow topic, the trouble is the narrower the field, the more gaps there are. So that's where, you know, that's an area where well-positioned AI could potentially be very useful. Oops. Let's try going back and emptying when we're full. Yep. Kind of up there with the fact that I'd lost 30% of my kidney function despite having annual blood tests for 10 years before I finally asked a question that said, what's this mean on the blood test? Why is it going down like this? Ooh, that's not good, they said. It's like, wow, that's helpful. Anyway, as Jason said, it's a wombat hole. Right, we'll back this in here. Anybody got any idea what the capacity of this clamp is? I'm gonna say large. I haven't done enough on here to fill one up. And we've got, oops. Where are we? So we're up over 400,000 and we're look like we've barely scratched the surface. Ah, okay. It helps that I've got 3, John. But thank you. Yeah, good point, Jason. No worries, Mark. Have a good one. Thanks for dropping by, mate. Alright, let's see here. Let's come down here. So... well, this will be George's end of town all under control, won't it? We'll have a look in a minute how the sugar factory is going with the sugar beet. But I'm guessing it's probably just about time to load a bit more in for processing. One of those jobs that I actually don't mind at all. I can see where I'm going. When it's cleaned up, field looks nicer. And it makes money. Wins on every front. Making good progress with our fertilizing contract, I think. So I'm probably gonna need one more lot of load of fertilizer, which is a bit of a bummer. Let's loop round, skip a row. This will be an interesting shape to get sugar beet out of. Those hills at the end might be slightly problematic. Let's do another corner. we get that bit? Yeah, there you go. $55. Zip across here. Where will we get to 60? Take one of these rows heading back down. It was Father's Day here in Australia yesterday. So I think we discussed it, or at least touched on it last week. As I recall, Jack Sarge was getting a full English breakfast for lunch, if I recall correctly. Our household enjoyed our local Chinese restaurant for dinner with my father. We had 3 generations at the table. Oops. Thought I missed my turn. Other than that, it was a fairly quiet day. Back you go. Whoop. Full Australian. It probably involves a barbecue or something. I could never quite come at the beer and cornflakes approach. That didn't kind of work for me. Needs to be refilled. So what's the bet? There, that's our fertilizer. So for that we need money. And for money we need to look at our production. So let's take you back across. I never did bring the milk down, did I? Let's go and get the milk tank up. I like the fact that they stride purposefully along the pavement here in Norwich and surrounds. You can just sit there for a minute. Let's go. That's not it. Where did I put the milk tanker? There, maybe? No. What did I do with the milk tanker? Drove it to somewhere. Did I leave it over here? Yep, glistening in the sunlight with the engine running. Of course. So now that we've discovered the way I've set it up, we can actually drive these vehicles. I must remember to put them on. We can do that next time. And we'll decide what their annual wage is going to be. We'll put that in place. We want to go to... there, down to the dairy. Now let's have a look at our productions. So the sugar beet factory is distributing sugar steadily into here. Yes. Yeah, I do that more than I'd care to admit, John. So the sugar beet factory is chuffing away. When we get some milk, we have been producing cheese. Why is that? Why is it running so slowly? 6,000 cycles a month. I suppose it's not really. It's just the game speed that I'm running. But I would have, and it should have spawned some cheese. Right. Okay. And then we've got Pig Food's distributing and chocolate is not being made at the moment. Right. So if we want it easy cash, we've got to go and get some of the sugar that is sitting in the warehouse at the sugar factory. Right here, in fact. No worries, John. Thanks for dropping in, mate. Great to see you. You can head back to John's yard, get the last of the corn. Yeah, so we do have some... We have some cheese. We won't be able to load it into there until I fix those, so there's no point doing anything with these. Let's turn off you. Okay, let's jump back in the yeah, actually, let's just pick up some more grass. That would be a smart strategy. I hope you have a good call, John. May the numbers fall in a sequence that gives everybody a good time. Now, let's go to the next one. The other thing we can do is replant Penny's, well, we can cut Penny's grass and replant those fields that I messed up with using the wrong bit of equipment on them. We're going to make hay on a couple of her fields, and then the rest will be silage that we'll put in Ringo's clamp. Let's see what the inside of this looks like. Disgustingly clean and tidy, really. The sunroof. Right. Powering through it we are now. Our seeders have run out of a seed again. But that's good progress, because that means we've got a couple of fields done, or just about done. Probably need to get a tractor sorted with some care wheels and the weeder, so that we can get out and get the weeder going, because there will be weeds in a couple of these fields. Oops, full again. This time back I will try and remember to put the silage additive in, having bought it before. There was a bit of a drop off there. And now what are we going to do? Yeah, we'll go and get the silage additive first, and then we'll duck in and do that. Unload, I think. Where do I need to be? Round about there. Oh, will that not let me? Because I'm at max weight. Surely not. Right. Will it not let me load up with silage additive? Yeah, how about that? Because I'm at max weight, even though I'm only trying to put like 10 litres in. Zero is zero. Righty-ho. Let's dump this in. See if I can get around the corner there. Just into that gap that's sort of in the middle. Push him up. Did that? Still not unloading. That's better. Good stuff. Now we should be able to put the silage additive in. It's just well these roads around here are quiet. How about that? When you got space, you got space. Welcome in if you've just joined. Great to have you along. We are just collecting a little bit of grass for silage production. Just added, topped off the silage additive. We have been sowing and planting as well. Although we're a little strapped for cash at the present. I was going to look at, we've got a few bits of equipment floating around that we certainly don't need. We probably should sort of work through those a little bit and get our cash situation slightly better under control. Let's see if we can get online here. There we go. Might have swung around quite as well as I wanted. So I think we might we're just about done on this field, which means we can get the cultivator going. And then that'll be, we need to get the clamp covered. That'll basically be everything done at the south end of the map. Oh, weeding. That's the other job, isn't it? Right. But that needs care wheels sorted, so have to duck back to the farm and pick up that equipment. I'm pretty sure that, well, I'm very sure that George doesn't have weeder in it down here at the factory. So that might be a job for Thursday, I think. Just get that little bit. It's bugging me. So I'm thinking that's where we might leave it for today, folks. It's been fun. Thank you very much for those that have been watching, contributing in the chat. It's very much appreciated. I will be back at the same time Thursday evening, 7:30 p.m, all being well. And we will be developing a bit more of vintage oaks. But until then, thanks very much, Jason. Until then, have fun, stay safe. See ya.